Why me? Seriously, why me? 19 years old, my high school girlfriend tells me that she's pregnant. And that year we have our first daughter, Brianna. Everybody's given up on me at this point. I'm a statistic. I failed. But I proved them wrong, because next year we had our second child. Bianca, another daughter, yay. And okay, so now we're adulting. We're moving a little, we're getting careers, we're looking at our life and saying, okay, this is not as hard as it seemed. Girls are smarter, faster. That's a fact. But to prove that fact, at 23 years old, I had my third child, Quentin Jr. Now we're kids, and now we're raising kids. However, our kids are raising us as well. They're teaching us patience, they're teaching us discipline, boundaries, things that we didn't have time to learn on our own. And for some reason, whatever we were doing was working. These kids were on the honor roll all through elementary school. My youngest son, Quentin Jr., was valedictorian of his class. He didn't get that from mommy and daddy. Nothing. But we were so proud, and we were so happy, and over the years, they just grew and just made us so much more proud of them. And all their accomplishments, the things that they could learn and do, the possibilities were endless. And then my wife had that little baby fever again. So at age 30, I had my fourth child, Quintus. And then right before we could even think about what's going on, we have our fifth child, Quinn. Now, what you see there is a beautiful family. You see love, you see empathy, you see patience, you see boundaries. What you don't see is that we are suffering in quiet desperation. Every day when I go to work, I get a call from my wife telling me something's up with Quintus. He's not trying to use the bathroom. Okay, that's normal. He's just taking his time. Maybe he's scared of the toilet. Quinn isn't responding to his name. These were things that they used to do, and now they're not doing. I'm getting texts from my kids. Dad, Quinn broke my toy. Quintus is having a tantrum because he wants to watch Trolls for the 10th time today. My wife is getting really sad because Quintus stopped eating her food. From eating hard foods, he started only eating pureed food, yogurt, pudding, applesauce. Quinn ate everything, but unfortunately, everything meant soap, lotion, toothpaste, and what turned into even pieces of glass. I went to the doctor with my concerns. Doctor, can something be wrong with my sons? And the doctor reassured me. It's okay, nothing's wrong. They're just a little delayed, but they'll be okay. Come back in 6 months. This is my family doctor. I've been going to him for all my children. He knows best. Okay, cool. Now, one day we're cleaning up, and Quinn sees a cup of bleach and decides to drink it thinking it's water. When he started to drink that water, I rushed to him, and before I even got to Quinn, he starts throwing up like a zombie movie. I take him and I rush into the ER. The doctors do all these tests. Quinn's going to be okay because bleach was so watered down that the vomiting really just got rid of everything. But that doctor there started examining Quinn. What's your name? No response from Quinn, just a blank stare. He's 3 years old. He's still in a diaper. The doctor starts asking me questions, and I reassure him, hey, my doctor said there's nothing wrong. Now, after a while, this doctor assumes that my child has autism. I didn't take that lightly. There's nothing wrong with my kid. Like, he's a little behind, but he does not have autism. I've seen kids when I was growing up in school. He's not that. He just needs some time. That same week, I found a daycare for Quintus. And they told me after his first day of daycare that they think he's on the spectrum. The first day. Why is a 4-year-old in diapers? Why is he not talking? Why doesn't he eat? I got upset again, and I took him out of that school. I will not let people disrespect my children, putting this limitation on them. I know what people go through. I've seen it, and I don't even know what autism really is. This made me start to really wonder, what if somebody's right? I took my kids to a doctor outside of my neighborhood, one I'd never been to, a neurologist. And within 5 minutes, he asked me a couple questions. He looked at my sons, and he told me that my sons have autism. Time stood still for me. Not because of the diagnosis, but because I was worried about the world that I was about to be going into, the uncertainties. I knew the world that my 3 kids were thinking about. We're talking about where they're going to go to school, get married, work. And now I'm thinking about, are these kids, my sons, ever going to talk? Are they going to ever be independent, eat, dress themselves? Now, this is a heavy load for me to carry. But this story is not about my weight. I want to make sure you guys know about your weight. Sometimes we all have a world on our shoulders. It might be our health, our majors, our careers. And today I just want to let you know that to ease that weight on yourself, we can lift and carry this weight together. After Quintus and Quinn got diagnosed, my whole life changed. Picture Atlas holding up this beautiful world. Think of hopes, dreams, triumphs, and struggles. Now, think of Atlas as a parent. Yes, good old parents. Same world, but that's your child's world that you're holding up. It's a little heavier. Yes. But now, when I think about my sons, I'm not just holding up the same world, because there's this thing called ableism. Ableism is the discrimination against people with special needs or disabilities as being less than. So now Atlas turns to that guy, overbearing a load that he doesn't know the mysteries and the darkness that comes with it. I started to do research. Once I accepted the diagnosis, I needed to know more about autism. What is autism? A lifelong cognitive delay. All I saw was lifelong. So this is something that people experience forever. Okay. Took me a long time, but I had to accept that. But now, ableism. How does ableism show up? Ableism shows up when I'm at the grocery store and my son is having a meltdown, the stares that I get, the assumptions that parents get when they see other people with children in the stores running around or having an episode, and they think that the parent is either not disciplining them enough or just not setting the right boundaries. The world doesn't know the reality that parents have with their children. 1 in 36 children are diagnosed with autism. Since the year 2000, it was 1 in 150, and now it's 1 in 36. That's over 300% increase in 20 years. I don't know about you, but I could use that in my crypto wallet right now. When I saw these statistics, I went back to my doctor. And I said, how could you do this? You could have known. And he said, there's nothing wrong. You need to just keep following me. Everything you're looking up is all just nonsense. Okay. I left that doctor, and I started joining autism groups and looking into other solutions that parents were finding. These groups were amazing. I noticed 4 things. 1, I'm not alone. out of all these children diagnosed, there are families out there just like me, suffering in silence, but we started to show up in community groups and meetings. And when I got there, I noticed that, one, I'm not alone, and two, parents of children with special needs have a fight that I've never seen. If you touch one of our kids, you're touching all of our kids, and we're coming after you. And that could be on social media, that could be in person, we're fighting. I've looked to fight people in other states when I saw what was happening to their children, because I could see my child in them. Next, I saw the fear that we all had. And it wasn't the fear of the diagnosis, it was the shared fear of what the world is going to do to our children. There's a post that goes viral online that parents of children with autism want their kids to die before them so they don't have to worry about them in this world. I never thought about it like that, but I understand where that comes from. And then fourth was the accepting of the limitations that the world already put on our children. I resonated with the first three, but I couldn't accept the accepting the limitations. I didn't come this far as a teenage father, raising up 3 kids and now 5 kids, to just accept the limitations that easy. So I started doing research. I actually, if anybody knows this, I looked for a sensu bean. I wanted something that could take my kids from just not knowing to just knowing. Just somebody help me get my kids to talk. Get them to use the bathroom. Get them to just be independent so I don't have to worry about them when they get older. I found behavioralists. I found so many innovative strategies from different parents all over the world, moms and dads finding different solutions and different studies, that things started to help. My sons started to use the bathroom. They started their therapies with joy. My son Quinn, who was not responding to his name, knows his name. Not only does he know it, he knows how it's spelt, and he can read. My sons have defied the odds in many ways that I was told I would never, ever get to. And these were by teachers and professionals. Now, my success is not as normal as some people would say, because I started to do things a lot. I'm not an autism expert, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a dad. And because I'm a dad, I actually started my own group, I Am Dad, which is I am defining autism differently, and I am defeating ableism daily. Because I just wanted to be a voice to all the other parents suffering in silence, to know that they could have a place to come to just to not suffer alone, and let's see how we can carry this weight together. How do we unintentionally contribute to the weight of parents of children with autism? It could be on how we define what's normal, or how we set up events, how we don't remember to include accessible ways for people with disabilities to attend. We all have a role to play. There was a speech therapist, Dr. Erica, who saw something in my sons. And she did not give up on my sons when they couldn't speak, because she believed that they could speak. And years later, they started speaking uncontrollably. Her small act of kindness helped my confidence, my faith, but it helped build so much confidence in my own sons. What can we do as a society? What if we stopped looking at autism as an individual problem and started looking at it as a shared responsibility? How much better would life be for parents like me, but for families like mine? This is my family now. We're not suffering as much as we were. Quintus and Quinn are thriving, and they're getting the support from not just us, but the community that we've looked into, that we've joined. And this picture is interesting because, you know what we like doing, right? Having babies. We found out that my wife is pregnant. And the first thing that came to mind from a friend was, are you worried that your child would have autism? Many families who have children who have autism don't have more kids because of that fear. We were worried, but we thought about all the possibilities, all the people that we become, the patience, the love, the empathy, who we became as parents now, and we welcomed our daughter, Brielle. I got 3 boys, 3 girls, yay. So, this became a moment when I realized that we're more than just our family. We're speaking for all families. Now, here today, what can we do to make the world just accept the shared responsibility for families like mine? My vision isn't that we're going to create the world overnight that was built for my family. However, by every step that we take, that we understand and choose to learn that these parents are in our society, it doesn't just help parents of families like mine. It helps build our entire society. And when we carry together, we thrive together. Thank you.